I promised myself that I wasn't going to do a 9/11 topic, but I decided, well, maybe I should. I know it's maybe slightly overworked right now, but maybe it's not. I reconsidered my decision not to do it because there are pretty much 3 dates that I remember in my life that for some reason I remember every little detail about it. One is November 22nd, 1967, which was when JFK was assassinated. I was 6 years old, and I remember it for some reason. I don't know why. I remember my teacher coming into the room crying, just screaming, "They shot the president, they shot the president." I remember 8/20/1980, and I specifically remember 2:30 in the afternoon in Honolulu, Hawaii. It was raining. It's the day my mother died. And I remember 9/11/01. It was weird because for some reason I just happened to have the TV on that morning. At that point in time, I never used to watch the news in the morning, but I was up early, and for some reason I had the TV on, and when it came on, I seriously didn't know what was going on, and I was standing in the family room just numb. I caught it very early. I caught it right after, I mean literally 2 minutes after the first building got hit, and I obviously was just glued to it, and I called a couple friends right away and woke them up at 5:45 in the morning and just said, "Turn on the TV right now," and then hung up on him. I called my dad after that, and of course he was in a good mood. He was reading the paper and didn't have any idea what was going on, and told him the same thing, basically just said, "Turn on the news." And then I called my brother, who was already at work, and told him to do the same thing. And I called my dad back, and I was just standing in the middle of the family room, just completely lost. And I had 2 phones going. I had a friend on the cell phone, my dad on the home phone, and I was just standing there talking, and then I was approaching this as an architect, quickly figuring up in my head how many people worked in the building, size of the building, how many people were there at that time of the day, and how the building was designed. And was going through the whole architectural calculations of everything. And phone calls kept coming in, and I kept going back and forth, and I was talking to my dad again when the first building fell, and I remember I started crying. And when the second building fell, I just kind of collapsed onto the sofa, and then I had to hang up on the phone, and I just kind of collapsed there. So I know that I'll always remember that day. I didn't know anybody that was in the buildings. I didn't know anybody physically on the ground. I knew a lot of people that lived around there and that were in very, very close proximity to it, but I didn't know anyone directly in it. I didn't know anybody in the Pentagon. I did not know anybody in Pittsburgh, even where the plane went down there. But you can look at it and you can have the feelings for it and everything. I wasn't going to watch anything today because of just all the media hype that just was going to dilute the way you remember it and just be too sensationalized, I thought. So I purposely stayed away from it, and then while I was cleaning the house, I turned it on and I found a station that was playing verbatim the day it happened. No commentary, no interruptions. They played it directly the way it happened. And that for me was probably the best way to watch it because it just reinforced the memories that I had at that time. So I look back, yeah, I remember, and I can tell a lot of other people do, just by looking at what's going on. I'd been to the World Trade Center. I went after 9/11. I went about 2 years after, and saw what was going on. The buildings were still boarded up around it and everything when I was there. I couldn't imagine living around there or working around there whenever all this was going on, but it's probably just a harsh reality of where we are in the world. But so what do you learn from this? I don't know. It's a tough one, because listening to the reporter's reaction the day of it, the unfiltered version, it's amazing how people talked about it and nobody could understand it, why people could hate us so much and how this could actually happen. But I think our view of that has probably changed, and you just wonder if this is going to happen in the future and in other areas as people grow to hate other people. So hopefully not. Hopefully it's the first and last time that anything like this happens. One of the best things I heard earlier or at the end of the week was somebody did a piece of compare and contrast the World Trade Centers and Pearl Harbor, and it was pretty astonishing, actually, the parallels that they drew with what was going on and how the whole thing transpired, how it happened, and how everybody was just caught completely off guard. A different time, a different place, it was handled a little differently. But I don't know, just, we can only hope that it doesn't happen again. So with that, later.